General Hospital spoilers reveal that Brennan is blindsided by a truth he never saw coming. The shock is not simply that Carly has been hiding Valentin under her roof, it is that she has been doing so while looking Brennan in the eye. Promising transparency, promising trust, the discovery detonates in the most brutal way possible. Brennan walks in and sees Carly and Valentin together, in bed. In that single frozen moment, every doubt he dismissed comes roaring back with merciless clarity. For Brennan, this is not just betrayal, it is humiliation layered with strategic deception. He realizes Carly did not merely protect Valentin, she aligned herself with him. Every late-night explanation, every guarded answer, every deflection now feels like a part of a calculated performance. The emotional wounds cut deep, but the professional implications may cut even deeper. Brennan prides himself on control, on reading people, on staying ahead of threats, yet Carly managed to outmaneuver him in his own blind spots, his feelings. This revelation forces a brutal recalibration. Brennan can no longer approach Carly as a partner or even a conflicted ally. He must now consider her as compromised, possibly dangerous. His reaction will not be impulsive, it will be precise, and that is what makes it terrifying. A man like Brennan does not lash out recklessly, he retaliates strategically. The fallout could extend far beyond a shadow relationship. Valentin's presence in Carly's home may now trigger investigations, surveillance, and exposure that neither of them anticipated. Meanwhile, Carly faces the catastrophic consequences of her gamble. What she may have justified as necessary deception now stands exposed as reckless intimacy. The moment Brennan saw them together erased in any plausible denial. The shift is immediate and irreversible. Trust collapses, alliances fracture, and the quiet tension that once simmered between the three of them ignites into open warfare. This is no longer a romantic triangle. It is a power struggle with emotional and strategic casualties. Brennan's shock transforms into resolve. Carly's secrecy transforms into vulnerability, and Valentin's, caught at the center, becomes both a catalyst and the weapon. The disaster unfolding is not just personal, it's structural. Once the truth spreads, it will not simply damage reputations. It will withdraw loyalties, reshape strategies, and push Port Charles into a new volatile chapter where betrayal is no longer hidden, it is undeniable. The worst possible timing becomes reality. Carly chooses the night of all nights to cross a line with Valentin, letting emotion and tension override caution. What she does not know is that Brennan has decided to make another unexpected visit. When he arrives and receives no answer at the front door, suspicion flickers. The silence feels wrong. If the door had been left unsecured, Brennan may circle around and enter through the back. Driven by instinct rather than invitation, and what he walks into will change everything. Seeing Carly and Valentin together in bed is not just shocking, it is annihilating. Brennan does not simply feel betrayed, he feels dismantled. The woman he trusted most has not only lied to him, but aligned herself with the very man who represents danger and manipulation. In that instant, months of subtle inconsistency snap into focus. He understands that he has been deceived, maneuvered, and emotionally exposed. The pain morphs quickly into something darker, rage mixed with humiliation, but the fallout extends beyond heartbreak. Brennan's reaction is not only personal, it's strategic, feeling blindsided by people's closest to him. He begins to withdraw, and his withdrawal lies a dangerous consequence. If he decides he can no longer protect Carly, or anyone connected to her, then Jocelyn may lose a critical layer of protection without even realizing it. Brennan's refusal to intervene or shield her from looming threats could indirectly place her in serious danger. His obsession shifts into safeguarding to serving ties. The betrayal becomes three-sided. Carly loses Brennan's trust, Brennan loses faith in his judgment, and Valentin's, knowingly or not, ignites a war. What could have remained a hidden alliance now explodes into open conflict. Brennan may appear composed, but internally he is unraveling. The shock hardened him, reshapes him, and feels a new fixation, never being blindsided again. Sooner or later, the truth was bound to surface, but the way it happens, raw, undeniable, intimate, ensures that the consequence will not fade quietly. In Port Charles, betrayal does not end relationships. It rewrites them. Brennan refused to remain cornered. After being pressured and subtly undermined by Cohen within the WSB, he makes a decisive move to reclaim control. This is no longer about pride, it is about survival. Brennan understands that if he does not reassert dominance now, he risks becoming expendable. With calculated precision, he begins reconstructing alliances with the agency. Cutting off Cullum's influence and tightening internal command, the message is clear. The WSB answers to him. But reclaiming authority comes with immediate consequences. Once back in power, Brennan shifts his focus to Valentin. If Valentin attempts to disappear again, slipping through internal borders and Shadow's network as he has done before, Brennan is prepared to escalate. This will not be a silent pursuit. It will be a targeted operation. Brennan no longer sees Valentin as a fugitive. He sees him as a catalyst for humiliation, betrayal, and destabilization. If Valentin's run, Brennan will chase harder than ever, determined to make a capture personal as well as strategic. The shockwaves extend beyond intelligence warfare. Carly stands at the center of the fallout. Brennan's renewed control means he can no longer afford emotional entanglements and divided loyalties. If he decides Carly compromised national security or his authority, her consequences could be devastating. Protection turns into prosecution. Sympathy turns into exposure. Carly may find herself facing isolation, investigation, and public disgrace. What once felt like a dangerous romance could now become a liability with irreversible consequences. As Brennan tightens his grip and prepares his offense, Port Charles edges towards eruption. Valentin's potential escape, Brennan's ruthless recalibration, and Carly's looming reckoning intertwine into a single explosive trajectory. Power is shifting, lines are hardening, and when control becomes the ultimate objective, collateral damage is inevitable.